Thank you for joining Sea Love Yoga's YouTube channel. And this guy's like, hey, why don't you do a part 2 for Varanasi, India? And I was like, okay, I will. In this next video, pay attention to the people who are in the bright orange shirts because they are pilgrims and they're so excited because they're about to see the Ganga River. There is a sector of people in Hinduism that have taken things a little hardcore and have practiced rituals that date back to medieval times. These folks are called Agori sadhus, and this guy that looks like Captain Jack and his wife here, they were actually very friendly. You can see how he is waving and everything, but they are also cannibalists. But they're not killing people to eat them for food. They are performing a sacred ritual after death, post-mortem. You can see here on his motorcycle the skulls of the people that he has eaten. And those are not plastic skulls, those are real human skulls. It's supposed to symbolize that we are all one, all matter is equal, whether dead or alive. Another thing that this type of sadhu does is they will get rid of all of their possessions, so you'll see them walking around naked. And they are painted in white because they take the ashes from the cremated bodies and brush it all over their skin. Moving on to a little hygiene infomercial. The picture you see here contains bark from the neem tree, and it is sold on the side of the streets for anybody who needs to freshen up their breath and their teeth because it's used as a toothbrush, because rubbing it back and forth on the teeth creates a natural bristles. I did not try this, but I've seen a lot of people using them. This is what the river looks like during sunrise, and you'll see vendors on the street selling various things like beads or water bottle jugs so that people can take the holy water to their homes. I saw more people bathing in the river in the morning than I did in the evening, and they bathed with joy and excitement because to them they're bathing in holy water. What was really nice about this morning is that I got to spend time with my friend Lori. We were the only ones that were interested in taking a sunrise boat ride on the river in the morning, and I'm so thankful that we did because we got to see everything in a new perspective. This picture here is a tribute to the southern India, and their architecture is so different in that it is always much more colorful and usually has some kind of deity on the building. Arabian Night. it's Arabian days. Sometimes these pictures remind me of Aladdin, like he'd be jumping around on the buildings or something. This was such a peaceful boat ride. And as I was enjoying the light and the peace of it, I look up and I saw a heart, and you can see love everywhere. And sometimes we need a reminder to try to see the good, to find the good, because the bad sometimes is always so in our face that it is important to take a step back. And that might mean through meditation, through song, through yoga practices, through taking a nice walk or being with loved ones, but take a step back from the heaviness, from the funk, and so you can notice what is always there. The good and the love is always there. And you're always going to have both, good and bad, yin and yang. And sometimes it's hard when something is so bad, like how could you possibly find any good? But I promise you it's always there. The love is always there. And by finding it, even if it is just a little hint, a little speck of brightness through the dark, by finding it, it will help you get through it. It'll help you get through the dark. And if you've noticed in my pictures, there's one side of the river that is plain without any buildings, and the other side is full of life, full of buildings, full of people and cows and monkeys and chaos. And the other side is just nothing. And our yoga instructor, Christine, says that it's like that in life because you have everything and you also have nothing. And everything is a balance. And here, the river serves as a balance between all and nothing. Getting back to my tour of Varanasi, we went to a place called Sarnath. And that is the place where it's documented that Buddha did his first teachings about enlightenment. And in the temple, there were paintings about various times in Buddha's life. Like this particular one is when he was looking at his family and he was making the decision to leave everything to find enlightenment. And this is the Buddha statue that was in the temple. Outside of the temple, there was this very large fig tree, and it is said that it is a piece of the fig tree that was from where Buddha was born, because the story is that Buddha's mom went into labor under a fig tree and she held on to the branch while she was giving birth. And this branch had been planted in lots of various places, and this is one of them. So this tree was actually from the tree that was giving shade while his mother was giving birth. And this next video shows the prayer wheels that you walk around using your right hand and you only turn them clockwise. And as you walk through it, you either say a prayer or a mantra. And this is a better view of the fig tree. And there's a section where you can light candles for good luck and prosperity. So I lit one for me and Steve, and then our kids and their partners, and our grandson and our future grandchildren, and then friends and family. These girls wanted a selfie with me, and they were so cute, and I wanted a selfie with them too. And the way to carry things around here is on your head. Except for this guy who has this cool little contraption for his cotton candy. So like I said before, Sarnath is the place that Buddha first started teaching. And before Buddha received enlightenment, he was trying to do that in a way that wasn't healthy for his body, like starvation and deprivation of all things. And he was in the forest and he was with 5 followers. and they were trying to do it too. And that's why he came back to this location, because he received enlightenment in a different way. And he decided he wanted to share that and find the 5 disciples that he was talking to previously. And this place dates back to the 2nd century BCE. And there is a structure here called a stupa, and that's what you're seeing now on the screen. And this stupa was built to honor Buddha and to mark the spot where he was at, and people come all over for a pilgrimage. And here I am walking the path of the Buddha. It is documented that he was here at this location, and so there is evidence that he was here and that he taught here. Is this the actual path of the Buddha? Well, I'm going to say yes, that I'm walking in the same spot that he did. And this image is of the Akosha pillar, and it was built by Emperor Akosha in 3rd century BCE. And notice that it is cut off at the top. And that is significant because when we go into the museum, I'm going to talk more about that pillar. And this site here, it is said that this is where Buddha meditated, and there was a statue here of Buddha that is now in the museum that I will show you when we get to that part. And on the stupa, there are different designs, and I wanted to show you that. And here are the artifacts that are at the museum. This particular one is of Krishna crushing demons, and this one here is of Krishna and his wife. And this one was really cool, I thought, because each little person here indicates a planet. And remember how I told you about the Akosha pillar? Well, this was what was on top of it. And you see how shiny it is? It is actually sandstone. And to this day, they can't figure out how they polished the sandstone to be so shiny. The image of the lions represent peace and power, and it was adopted as India's national emblem in 1950, and you can see it here on the money. So remember how I said that the Buddha meditated at a certain location and there was a statue there in his honor, and this is the statue that was in that location. And one thing I want to point out is that, will the real Buddha please stand up? Because this is what he's really looked like. He did not look like the Chinese version that is fat and jolly, but he looked like this. And notice how he's holding his hands, and that is the symbol for teaching. And sadly, I have to say this is my last day in India. We had a farewell ceremony that was a puja ceremony where we also lit candles and placed our baskets of flowers into the water and identified what we want to let go and leave in India. And this is our group photo where I didn't get the memo that it was a serious one and not a funny one, and I was being goofy. And then here I am saying goodbye to my friend Linda. She decided not to continue on the journey with us to Nepal, and she left back to the US. And this is Charles, and we also say goodbye to Charles, but I will see him again the next time I visit India. So thank you so much for going to India with me, and let's continue on to Nepal where we can see more love.